Hello and welcome to day 95 of 365 days of Facebook Live. And I just had to pause for a moment because I forgot to sage. And I like to sage before I start my work day. The lighter's over there, so I'm going to do that after I'm done with this live. So I just had today, or I did today, this yoni sadhana practice. And what that is a form, sadhana is like a spiritual practice that you do daily. And I was planned to do it for 40 days. Then the move happened into our new home, and it completely disrupted that consistency, as well as for a while I had a neck thing, which also disrupted the thing. So for me, it's been about staying consistent as much as I can stay consistent, especially when you're doing some sort of feminine practice, because there's a safety that's really required with that. Unlike Facebook Lives, where it's like, it's more of a masculine energy, it's showing up, it's doing it. There's really much is a doing energy, and the yoni sadhana practice has been more about you have to create the right environment for that. You can't force your body, your feminine body, to do something when it doesn't feel safe or when it feels exhausted. So it's been a beautiful practice in that reminder of the feminine for me, and to allow it to be what it is. I would have been done by now. Day 40 would have been on my calendar on the 21st, but it's not. And that's okay. And I think that actually I needed to go through that so that when I teach this in Sex Priestess, they can understand that it doesn't have to be a perfect practice. But when I was in this practice today, and after I was done, and after I also connected with the G-spot, and what came through with me from doing a feminine practice like that was more about self-trust and really trusting in myself more. Trusting, because the G-spot is your inner queen. That's also connected with this enchantress archetype that we're going to be talking about in Sex Priestess, that we're going to really be activating, like the inner lover. And that is an important part of this whole part when it comes to your sexuality, about this level of self-trust. When you can trust yourself more, you can trust your intuition, you trust your discernment on men, on situations in your business or whatever it is that you're walking into, and you're able to give trust to your partner, to your beloved in the bedroom. So the other part of this is I felt so alive in my body, the pulsating sensations of the practice, which is not a self-pleasure practice. It's really about just getting into your yoni, into your genitals, and being able to be with your body at a very intimate level. But of course, there's going to be some level of arousal, and it extended past that. Hey, Jamie. It extended past just that one moment, and it moved into the rest of my day, and it allowed me to feel more slow and trusting myself and trusting my moves and my decisions in my life, because I connected to this part of my feminine body. And I feel like that's so magical, that you can get information through your own sexual anatomy, which is why I'm really excited to be teaching that inside of Sex Priestess. So what I really want to talk to you about today is how sacred sexuality work is about allowing more pleasure into your life, and how more pleasure equals more love. More pleasure equals more love. More pleasure equals more love. When I say that, what comes up? Let me know in the comments. What comes up for you when I say that? When I say more pleasure equals more love, what comes up to you? What's the first thing that pops into your head? What's a memory that comes to your head? What's the first thought? What's the first belief? What's the first thing? What are the sensations that you feel in your body when I say that? Let me know in the comments. More pleasure equals more love. Love is a pleasurable sensation, right? Love is a sensation that really opens up your heart, your energy field, your essence, like really pure, unconditional love, right? So if you look at the polar opposite of that, opposite of pleasure, the two words that come up for me is pain and suffering. Pain and suffering. Heartache. Struggle, right? That's what comes up to me when I think about the polar opposite of that. The polar opposite of pleasure, right? So it would make sense that if I'm able to get into deeper levels of pleasure into my body, expand the levels of pleasure that I can feel in my body, then I'm expanding into more love. I'm able to hold and feel more love in my heart. I'm able to expand pleasure throughout my whole body, which means I'm no longer associating with pain and suffering and struggle and heartache. I'm actively working to move those energies out of my body and allow more pleasure to come in. Doesn't mean we don't dismiss these other energies, these other frequencies, because it is a part of our human experience. But it means that we're no longer identifying with that. I am no longer identifying myself with pain, suffering, heartache, and struggle. I want to tap into more places of pleasure in my life. I want to lean into expanding more pleasure in my home, more pleasure in my body, more pleasure in my romantic life, more pleasure in my friendships and my family members, and more pleasure in my lifestyle, in my work, and with my money. Higher. So, story time. You know how I love to talk about stories. I love stories. When I was noticing that there was this block when it comes to sex in my life with Ron, when I started to become very aware that there was a problem here within our relationship, there was a tension here, I started to feel into it, and the most immediate energy that was in the front of it was, I'm scared to tap into more pleasure because my fear, let me start this over again. I had a thought that came into my mind and it completely distracted me. My fear, as I was working around this sexual block that I was having in my relationship, my fear was to fall more in love. I was actually blocking more love coming into my life from Ron, because I feared if I opened up myself sexually to him, it meant that I had to open up my heart more to him. Because when when a woman opens up her body, like fully open to a man, she is opening up her heart. You can't separate that. When she's fully in that space of like, here I am, take all of me. I feared of that because the last time that I did that, I was in a really painful relationship, and it felt like it sucked the life out of me. And I was so fearful that it wasn't that would happen with Ron. I knew he wouldn't do that to me, but it felt more of like, can I hold more love from Ron? Can I expand even deeper in this area of love? Can I expand deeper in this area? Can I crack my heart open even more and really give even more of me to him? Right? There's a level of protection there. When I was able to see that he is a safe and honest and great man, I cracked my heart open to him, and more levels of pleasure was able to come into my body. My ability to orgasm, to have long-lasting orgasms with him, to just really allow myself to be unleashed in the bedroom with him happened. Because I was no longer afraid of falling deeper in love, because deeper in love means higher sensations of pleasure. And then we have the opposite side of that. It's are you able to hold the polar opposite, which is a whole completely different subject, but I want to stick to this. Allowing myself to open up to more love to my man increased my ability to feel more pleasure. Because in sacred sexuality work, you are in the space of allowing more pleasure to circulate through your entire body and not resisting it. And in order for you to do that, you have to allow more love into your life, into yourself. In a partnership, you have to allow more love from him to come in. There's a level of surrender. There's a level of, I trust myself to hold this high level of love. I trust myself that I can hold this high level of pleasure and ecstasy. I trust God that he has me and holding this high levels of love and pleasure and ecstasy and pulsating Shakti in my body. More love. More enjoyment of now. Of being in the moment, in the juices of now. Allowing orgasms to elongate, to build up slowly, deliciously. To be in the bedroom and to let your body know he is safe. I can surrender to him and no longer block your heart from him. This is what sacred sexuality work is all about. More love Because sex is love in the purest form, and the most innocent form is love. It's not this thing that it's become in the world. And sacred union love will require this healing. So, if you are so Sex Priestess is starting on Saturday, 2 days from now. Yeah, Saturday, 2 days from now. And we're going to be working on healing your relationship to men and to their cock. We'll be working on healing your relationship to your own body and to your pleasure, and to extending and allowing more pleasure into your life. We're going to be work on being having a romantic love affair with yourself, so that you can really be penetrated by love and pleasure by the masculine. It's a beautiful, beautiful creation and space to be in when you feel that from a man who genuinely loves you for who you are. It's transcendental. It really is. So we begin in 2 days. It's right now, it's $999 for the paid in full price. If you do the pay in full, you will receive a free one-on-one session with me, a 60-minute Zoom one-on-one session, which is a value of $222. And we will go deep on love and intimacy and all the things that you want to talk about. And we will activate you and really get the energy moving, start clearing things that are blocking you from receiving more love, receiving pleasure, your relationship to the masculine, and what's happening either in your private romantic life with your partner, or if you are single and you are on the path of calling in that sacred union partner. And there also are a payment plan of 3 months for $399. And $399. We will be working very intimately. You will need a yoni wand, which that will be emailed to you right away after registration, upon registration. And you will have time to purchase it because we won't be using it until like the second week in. And again, this is something that you work on and you can take your time on. This is going to be practices that you will have, that you want to do on a regular basis. So there is no rush in this. I will be guiding you with all of this. So if you're interested, you can message me. I'm going to leave the link here in the comments. I'm going to pin it to the top. And I look forward to delivering this mistress mine. I got to blow dry my hair. I let it air dry. Did I? Actually, I washed it today. Yeah, I washed it this morning. I need to blow dry it. So that's it for today, beautifuls. I would love for you to come join Sex Priestess if this is an area in your life that you're like, oh, Jessica, this sounds so good. Yes. I'm excited. And if you want to talk more about it, if you're having some questions, please message me. And if you're feeling a little nervous about it, that's normal. That is definitely a normal way to feel about going into anything that is going to actually really expand you. As my client was feeling a little nervous about it. And then she received a divine message that said, pretty much sacred sexuality work is a work that you really want to do. So, message me, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.